awful at photography, and then put it in the closet. And the next time I took it out was about 8 years later, and I realized that it was a totally outdated model. It was old, and I thought, oh gosh, I really did want to learn how to be a photographer. I really want to learn how to take good pictures, but I know I'm not really good at that. So I had just happened to come across a class. It was like an adult education class, for UT informal classes on photography. I thought, well, I'll sign up for that. What harm can it do? So I signed up for the informal class, and now I know what the f-stop is. I know what the aperture is. I know how sharp the eyes are. And now I have an Olympus. I have an Olympus. Yeah, I have an Olympus Micro Four Thirds camera. So what I learned through that experience is that I was trying to learn in a way that wasn't really helpful for me. Reading the user manual is not going to be the way that I was going to learn. What I needed was to be able to be face-to-face and be able to ask so many questions. But what I had been doing, I had been in this fixed mindset, right? This idea that like, I'm a terrible photographer because I tried once or twice and I wasn't good at it, and so I put it away and I didn't come back to it for 7 years. And I allowed myself the ability to learn in a different way, try something different, and with practice, over time, putting in some effort and some heavy lifting, I was able to take better pictures now. So that's an example of the growth versus fixed mindset in my life. I think we're going to talk to our students now. Yeah, do you want to?
Okay, so like Katie said at the introduction, we are with some of our awesome peer educators today. Part of my job is I have the honor and privilege of teaching an academic course and being with these fine people for 3 whole semesters. And so we spend a lot of time in class thinking and talking and processing the growth versus fixed mindset. So I want you all to bear with us because now you're going to hear some of their stories of moments in their lives where they experienced a setback and how they were able to get through that. And so we're just going to start, and then we'll have a question afterwards. So I'm going to ask Bushra to share her story first.
Hello again. I'm going to share my success/failure story. So in high school, I'm going to talk about high school because I'm junior, but I'm going to share my story from high school. So I was very, very, very focused. I did everything right. I joined literally like all the orgs in my school. I was that kid that like had a plan of what colleges you wanted to apply to and the scholarships and everything, and like in the summers I wrote like my essays and everything. I was just done, and then I applied to the scholarship that I really, really wanted since like my freshman year because I heard like a lot of people talking about it. So I applied and I didn't get that scholarship, and that was like a really, really huge like disappointment for me because I was like, I did everything right and I joined so many extracurriculars, organizations, and now I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my god, like this was my scholarship to go to college, and I thought I had everything figured out, and I didn't get that scholarship. But then I was talking to my counselor, and she told me, why don't you like apply for this Gates Millennium Scholarship? And I was like, if I didn't get this one, how am I supposed to get the Gates one? That's even like more prestigious. Like, I'm not even gonna bother applying because they have like 8 essays, all are like 1,000 words each, and if I waste that much time on it and not get it, then that'll be like another disappointment. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna like, don't even bother writing my recommendation. Like, I'm not gonna apply. But I went home, I like thought about it 2-3 times, and I was like, I worked so hard all throughout high school, and now if I don't do this, like, you know, all of that just like went to waste. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start applying. But then I was like, I'll just ask someone else like help this time to write my essays and everything. So I wrote my essays, and then I asked my college writing teacher. I would like go to her, like she literally made me do like 8 drafts like of every essay, and there were like 8 essays total. So like it took like a really long time, and I was so scared even like to apply that I made my like mom like press the submit button for me because I was so scared. So I applied. I waited for like 5-6 like months, and like online where all the people who applied for it they would talk about it. So when I heard that somebody like they got their mail that day, so I was like, oh my god, today I'm gonna go home and it's gonna be in the mail. Is it the rejection letter or like the acceptance? And they said the rejection would be like a tiny envelope, and if it's acceptance, it's gonna be the huge one because it's gonna have the whole packet and everything. And I was so scared. I went back and I opened I was like standing in front of the mailbox. I didn't want to open it because I was like, oh my god, another failure. So I was just standing there for like 10 minutes, and when I opened it, it was a big
big envelope, and I was like, I got it.
Hello, again, I'm Krista. So my first semester here at UT, I was placed on academic probation. And I was like, okay, I didn't feel ready for college life. I had a really hard time getting the hang of things. The semester after that, I failed another class. So I was like, I just felt stuck. And then after that, I realized that part of my failures was because I wasn't interested in the major that I was in. So I went ahead and I seeked out a mentor, and she helped me to do some career searches. So she helped me to connect my personal interests with careers that I would enjoy. And so after that, I was able to find a major that I loved and that I excelled tremendously in. And I even got university honors 3 semesters in a row. So going from completely, in my mind, completely failing and thinking that, oh, I'm going to get kicked out of college to excelling, like getting 4.0 3 semesters, it was like, I even shocked myself. So I guess I would say to myself, like, don't let one failure define the rest of your future or college career.
Okay, so I'm Hannah again, and so I said I was a psychology major, but when I came to UT, I was actually undeclared. So my first semester, I had a lot of psychology friends, or their majors were psychology, and I took the intro class, and I really, really liked it, so I decided to apply to get into the major for the spring of my freshman year, and I didn't get in. And I had so many irrational thinking patterns, it was crazy. I was like catastrophizing it, got to the point where I was like, I'm not gonna graduate because I'm not gonna, get a major that I like since I didn't get into psychology. Why even apply again if they denied me once? And so, like, with the help of talking to a lot of on-campus resources, I found out why I didn't get accepted. And so I signed up for a lot of like clubs that would help me to for when I applied again. So I applied again to get into the fall of my sophomore year, and I got accepted. But if I didn't have like a growth mindset about it and reach out to all of those resources, I probably would have stayed in that mindset of I'm being a complete failure. But it was really sad at the time, just because you feel like your whole world's ending and you just got the worst news of your life ever. But you can do something about it, and even if it doesn't work out the next time, maybe that's for a reason. So.
Hi, I'm Bree again. Before coming here, I'd actually not even really heard of UT. Didn't really know anything about it, didn't really care for it. And my problem occurred when I had only applied to one school for college. I had my mindset, I was like, I'm going to go to Baylor, all or nothing. Yeah, I'm sorry. But, so then the summer after high school, I got really sick. And it turned out like I had a lot of medical bills from that and things like that. And I had to skip a whole semester of college because I couldn't do that while I was sick. And so to me that felt like a failure because I felt like I worked so hard, like I worked my butt off in high school and I tried really hard. My family's like, oh, you have to go to college, be something. So I was afraid to tell my grandpa, who was really like the driving force behind me, even though, you can't really help being sick, but I felt like I had failed him as well. Like, what am I gonna do? So I was kind of stuck in a rut for a while. I was a big baby about it, but eventually I'd actually talked to him, and he was like, we still, what your plan is, you know what you want to be, just find another way to get there. And I was like, you're right. So I had looked at other schools, found other ways to get to where I want to be as a future career, and I ended up applying for UT, and I got accepted. And it turns out, I love it here. a lot more than I feel like I would have loved it there. I've been to Baylor, but yeah. yeah, so it's not like my family's gonna, kick me out just because I didn't make it somewhere. I still had to try and find new ways to get to my goal.
Thanks, y'all. So we're running short on time, so we'll have that Q&A portion that we talked about. So we'll move along. I think though they provided some awesome examples of times in their life when they were, in high school, even during their college career, of things that they experienced that they were able to get through because of their skills around resiliency. So I'm not going to read you this quote, but it's a great quote around how making mistakes in life can help us thrive and how we can learn. I like to say that, I learned this at a recent Leadership Institute I attended. The definition of fail is first attempt in learning. And so I think this great quote by Neil Gaiman, who's a writer and novelist, really speaks to that. Okay, so if you want to be one of these lovely people, you can. If anyone has any interest, we recruit for peer educators around March and April, around late March, early April. It's a great program. It's a cohort-style class, so you really get close with your 15 other colleagues in the room or friends. There's no tests or quizzes. It's a really non-traditional kind of format that we do at UT Austin. So if you're interested, just go on our website, search peer educator, and they'll take you to this page where you get to learn a lot more about these awesome peers as well.
And the last thing we want to mention today is a brand new resource. It's about a week old. It's called Thrive at UT. Have you heard of this? It's a free iPhone app. So if you have an iPhone, you can download Thrive at UT. It's a mobile app to enhance your well-being. It's not about helping you academically succeed. It's just about enhancing your well-being. It was designed specifically for UT Austin students. There's videos of students sharing their stories of overcoming kind of setbacks or rejections or something that's happened in their life. There's interactive activities, and then you have the option to customize notifications so that you can get a reminder sometime during the day, for example, to practice gratitude or to kind of look around at your community. It's called Thrive at UT. As I had it up on the board. We have some promo cards over there. You can grab some. They're colorful cards. We have 7 different topics in the app. Take as many as you want, ish, I think, because probably have about 500 cards. So maybe take 1 or 2, I guess is what I mean. So as many as you want, as long as it's 1 or 2. Who might be interested in downloading the app? Heck, you already probably downloaded. I saw your hand go first. I'm just wondering because I have a stress ball that I need to give away. And so, okay. Nice. Thank you. I was going to use that for an activity earlier and I forgot. So, congratulations. Thank you all. Thank you for having us. And I know John has an announcement.
Thank you so much, Katie and Marion. I appreciate it, and each one of you too appreciate it. Take advantage of this opportunity as well. Educators are very important on this campus. And take advantage of these resources too. Download the app. Look at it. It's very good. Quick announcement for our mentors. There's a Square Cap question that you need to log in and answer in order to count for your attendance this week. Secondly, I'm noticing some absences in which you guys are not notifying me that you're not going to be here. You need to notify me with the reason why you're missing, and you need to complete the makeup assignment before it's due. So I just want to put that reminder out there as well. For those few students that I had to hold their scholarship for this period of review, I'm going to go back and look at some of that data because I received a few emails from you guys that it wasn't accurate. So we have some time before the disbursement so I can notify Charles to release your scholarship because of the data being more accurate. Lastly, I want to introduce you to somebody. We, as Dr. Smith mentioned at the beginning of this semester, that for the longest time, ULN has been trying to get to full staff. We finally got there yesterday. I want to quickly introduce, I'm going to let him tell you about himself just a little bit, just for a few minutes. Byron, he is now our year 4 coordinator, so you will see him a little later. But we're very happy and we're very proud to have him on staff. He brings a wealth of experience. I'm going to let him talk about that right now.
So I am Byron Caesar, as he kind of mentioned, and I will be the 4th year coordinator. I actually come from the state of Iowa, so I went to Iowa State for undergrad, so it's still Big 12 country, but not quite UT. But right after undergrad, I moved to Kansas City and for grad school, and actually got my first job at the University of Kansas. I know other Big 12 countries, so I moved to Austin about 2 years ago to work for an educational nonprofit called Breakthrough Austin that does serve first-generation college students from middle school all the way through the end of college. And so I obviously work for the college end of things. And so I'm definitely very passionate about the student population, first-gen students, students who are said to be at risk of not being able to obtain a college degree. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm excited to be the 4th year coordinator because I have a lot of experience with like internships and that transition from undergrad to life, essentially, life after undergrad. So yeah, and I promise you I also don't have bandages on my face all the time. First week at UT, this morning I had a bike accident, so yeah, so welcome to UT.
Yeah, I was trying to think of some stupid jokes, like, yeah, the first staff meeting didn't go very well, but we're glad you're safe, glad that you guys started with us too. That's it, so you guys have a great evening, we'll see you next